And welcome to What's Up with Dun 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 question mark.
Yeah.
I am Seth Duncan, and this is
Austin Fordham.
I'm kind of a little bit of what we're going to be about. Basically, we're just a couple guys. We've been friends since kindergarten, preschool. Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
From a little dinky town in the middle of nowhere. And we're still here. We went to school 20 minutes away, and now we're back here. Basically, our show is going to be a bunch of nonsense.
And some yes sense.
Some no sense and yes sense. Basically, we're just going to do whatever the heck pops into our head, and with us, that could be anything.
Yep.
Baseball's going to be starting soon, and that's about one of the biggest highlights we have to look forward to right now.
Yeah. So do you want to just jump into that then?
Let's jump right into it.
All right. We're going to talk about some of the information for the 2020 season, how it's going to be played, some of the changes. So first off, this season is going from 162
to 60.
to 60.
So that's a few less, which is
About 37% of our regular season. 40 of those 60 games are going to be played within the division.
basically they're doing whatever they can to kind of keep out all the travel and stuff, which I understand because there's already some players who aren't going to be playing this season.
I've heard that Mike Trout is considering opting out, which is no fault to him. It's a really scary situation, and you got to do what's best for you. It just wouldn't be the same watching a baseball season without Mike Trout.
It would definitely put a damper on it. It would take a lot of the big highlights away. I think it would basically end the Angels season. But hey, they'll have Shohei Ohtani.
Should have him doing both functions this year.
For at least a week.
Yeah.
Before he gets hurt. Yep. Also, everyone will have a DH this year.
Yes.
American League and National League, so that'll make the National League a little more interesting since they're not used to that.
No, but that'll be really cool to see what some of those National League teams can do when they introduce that DH.
At the same time, I'm also a little bummed though, because sometimes it was kind of fun when you had a pitcher like Bartolo Colon go up there and belt one out deep to left at the age of like 44 or something like that. The moments like that, that'll be a bummer, but
for these 60 games, the players will be receiving their full prorated salary. Since they're playing about 37% of their games, they receive about 37% of their salary, which means
they'll still make more than all of us this year.
Yes.
No All-Star game, no Home Run Derby this year. I never paid a whole lot of attention to the All-Star game. The Home Run Derby, that's always fun to watch. Last year was a lot of fun. There's home runs galore with a couple of rookies and stuff, with Alonso and
Vladdy
just going crazy. So that one will be missed. The All-Star game, I never got super into that just because there's so much changing throughout the game of who's playing and stuff. That
it was supposed to be in LA this year at the Dodgers Stadium. 2022 All-Star Game and Home Run Derby will now be in LA.
There's other weird rules, not weird rules, other rules where it's like when you get on base, like no high fives, like you can't talk to people, basically.
I thought this one was interesting. There is a no fights or no brawls rule.
That should just be a good rule just to have in general.
If a manager gets mad with the ump and goes out to chew him out, he has to stay 6 feet away.
That'll be really funny. Wait. Stay there. You suck! I hate you so much! You watching the game at all? Like, that'd just be funny. Like, no spit in the face. The umps will be good about that. You're glad about that.
Yeah. If they do come within 6 feet, they will be immediately ejected, and then they will also be suspended and fined.
Slapped with a pretty good fine.
But it's more than $6, so.
Definitely. Also, no sunflower seeds will be on the field.
Pitchers, instead of licking their fingers, they will be allowed to keep a wet rag in their back pocket.
It's going to look like butt sweat.
A little bit, yeah. They just have to make sure that before they throw the ball, they wipe their hand dry on their pant leg.
Wonder if we'll see more tar behind the ear this year. Wonder if they'll be as strict on that, maybe. I always thought that was a weird rule anyway.
Yeah. The extra innings rule.
Oh, yeah.
Extra innings will start with a runner on second base, which is interesting, and I don't like that as a permanent rule, but for this year, considering all the circumstances, honestly, I'm fine with it. You got to keep people healthy with how many games they're playing in this amount of time.
162 games down to 60. I mean, if a guy missed a month of the season before, it sucked, but, I mean, you still played.
Mm-hmm.
130 games a year.
Yeah.
This year, if you miss a month, you're missing half the season. So they got to do what they can to keep guys on the field.
Yeah. Don't want these games going 18 innings and stuff. That's just not necessary. So the runner will start on second base. Now, if that runner scores, it does not count against the pitcher's ERA, which is good because that pitcher didn't allow that run to get into scoring position.
Baseball loves stats.
However, think about this one for a second. Say a pitcher throws a perfect game. They start extras with that runner on second base. Person wants him over to third base. Now there's one out. Person hits a sac fly to the outfield, and they get in. Now there's 2 outs. It's not an earned run, but if that's the way the game ends,
so they could lose a perfect game.
Does that pitcher take a loss with a no-hitter in a perfect game and no earned runs? How does that work?
I feel like if they're not giving it as an earned run, I feel like they can't give him the loss. But at the same time, if they just kind of like, no one gets a loss on that one. I don't know.
Just a no decision.
I feel like that's almost what they have to do.
That'd be weird. That's more than likely not going to happen in a 60-game season.
Although losing a perfect game would be kind of funny. Like losing the game on like a bunt, and it's like a perfect game, like sack bunt. You lose the game on a.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that would be horrible.
I think that kind of wraps up most of the new rule changes for the year.
You guys can let us know in the comment section what we missed. If there's something that you don't understand, go ahead and drop a comment. Today we're going to give you some of our 2 early picks for the 2020 season. These are all just picks of basically everything for the whole season.
Everything.
At the end of the season, we will see who is the most right and who is not the most right.
Mostly the most wrong.
Mostly the most wrong, yes.
That's what we're looking for. It's going to be the name of the award, the mostly most wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever loses needs to purchase the hat of the other person's favorite team. So,
and wear it
for
3 podcasts.
Yeah. We're making this up as we go.
We are.
Let's start with our American League Division winners. AL East, I gotta go with the Yankees. Not just because I'm a fan, but their roster is absolutely stacked, and they just, picked up Cole this year to bolster their rotation. They lose Severino, so that's a little bit of a hit, but with that roster, it's kind of hard to pick against them.
I sadly also have the Yankees. It pained me to do that, but I also will say, do not sleep on the Rays. I think the Rays could definitely give them a run for their money. The rest of the division, I'm not sold on the White Sox or the Red Sox.
Me either.
And the Orioles will be garbage. But
one team that I think could surprise people, a lot of young stars on the Blue Jays. They're a team to kind of watch out for, and they did just pick up Ryu from the Dodgers, so they do have a solid ace type pitcher in Ryu.
I do think this is going to be a fun division. I think there's going to be 3 teams that can seriously compete for it. I think the Red Sox can be on the edge. I honestly think that they're going to be the 4th one, though. The Orioles, they'll be there.
They'll play baseball.
Well,
they'll try.
They'll try.
Sorry, any Orioles fans that are out there.
All 3 of you. They all left when Machado left, so.
I'd be more apt to become an Orioles fan when Machado leaves. Ugh. Sorry if there's any Machado fans out there. Hey, let's move on to the Central. Who do you got for the Central?
Not the Royals. I can say that.
Really?
I know that's a shock because but I am not going to pick who you think. I am going to go with the White Sox.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are going to go for the Twins. I don't know. Something about this White Sox team. I think there's something that's going to be special with a lot of these young guys. They got a couple of rookies. I think this year that could be a big deal. They got Jimenez. I always pronounce his name wrong. From last year. I think he could definitely make a big jump this year. Tim Anderson is going to be solid, as much as that hurts me to say also. But I think the White Sox, are going to surprise some people this year, and I think they're going to take the division.
And I think Luis Robert.
He's a big deal.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
He obliterated the ball in the minors.
AL Central, I went with the team that you said most people will probably pick. I went with the Twins. Once again, their batting lineup is just crazy good. And their rotation's not spectacular, but they got, Barrios and Odorizzi, who have both been pitching well recently. So I gotta give the AL Central to the Twins. AL West. I picked probably a little bit against what a lot of people would say, and I picked the Oakland A's to take the West.
Interesting.
Now they also have a stacked lineup. They've been doing well the past few seasons. I don't know. I just got a feeling the A's take that division this year. Now I think not having fans in the stadiums actually helps the Astros a lot this year.
Not getting screamed at and booed and
Exactly.
told they're garbage.
So I think not having the fans helps the Astros, but they lost Cole, so that's a big chunk of their rotation. So
Still got Verlander. Verlander's always solid.
stupidly good, but
Stupidly
he is about 100, so he'll
Eventually,
start-
it's got to catch up to him.
Although his simulated game or scrimmage outing looked very good.
Yeah.
From what I saw, highlights of it. Anyway,
In the West, I've actually got the Angels. This could change if Trout does not play, because obviously he is solid for them, for the league. But, I mean, when you got Trout, Rendon, and Ohtani, a healthy Ohtani, I think that can make a big difference. The AL West, I think, could be the most fun division to watch this year, just between the A's, the Angels, and the Astros, because I think it's going to be a very competitive division. I think what's going to help the Angels the most, honestly, is the shorter season. If it was going to be the full 162, I don't think I would pick them. I think I would have actually gone with the Astros, but I think the shorter season will actually help the Angels. They'll be able to stay healthy. They have some older guys on the team and some injury-prone guys who are just not going to have to worry about the longevity of the season, and I think that's going to come into their favor. But yeah, I'm going with the Angels.
and that's really one thing that makes this season kind of tough to pick is because
Very tough.
any streaking team could make a run. Wasn't it what 3-4 seasons ago? The Indians went on a 27-game win streak.
I mean, that's half the season.
That's half.
I mean,
yeah,
you do
that's
that,
half of
you're
the
500 already.
Yeah. And if you look at the Washington Nationals last year, who won the World Series, they started the season off like 18-30 something. Not a good start.
I think I saw something the other day where if the season would have ended after 60 games last year, they would have finished below 500.
Yeah.
Like they were just terrible to start the season.
And so that just shows you that so much can change. You never know what can happen. The Orioles can make a run this year.
The Royals could win the division.
Yeah. Let's go with the American League Division losers. So these are the teams that we think are going to have the worst records in the American League. Starting off with the East, gotta go the Orioles. We mentioned all the other teams being pretty good, 500 and above record teams potentially. I have their projected record from my predictions, 17-43.
I think I gave them 20 just because I couldn't see a team number in the win column but
here's why I did it. This is the teams the Orioles have to play. They got to play the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Rays, the Nationals, the Mets, the Phillies. The Pirates are in there, so that might be,
They might get a few there.
That might be a few of their 17 wins.
There's a quarter of their wins.
But that's just the East is just brutal.
I have the Orioles, for the same reasons. I don't know what it is about the Orioles. They had Machado, and when they were winning games, it was because Machado had 6 RBIs in a game. And then they lost him, and it was like their whole team was gone. They keep calling young guys up, and then they come up, and they're like, you suck. They send them back, and then just nothing works for them. They need some new scouts. I don't know what it is.
They have a weak team. They have a weak farm. It's just not looking good for the Orioles.
We'll stop hating on the Orioles for a while now.
Orioles fan. All right. AL Central.
I have the Tigers. It could be a battle for last between the Tigers and the Royals. I did go with the Tigers. They're another team where they just seem to not be able to get things together. They've traded away some of their good players. I love Miguel Cabrera. He just hasn't looked the same recently, and he was kind of their one bright spot. Their pitching, again, seems like every time they had a good pitcher, they traded him away. There's not a lot to like on this Tigers team either.
Just think, they had Verlander, they've had Scherzer. The number of World Series players that they've had on that roster that they've let go is astounding.
It is.
I also went with the Tigers. There's not a lot of bright spots on their major league team currently. Now they do have some bright spots in their farm, but just not much happening at the big level right now. AL West, I went with the Mariners. They're not a spectacular team right now. They have some fierce competition to face over there in the West.
Yeah, I also have the Mariners. They could be a middle tier team in just about any other division. The division that they're in is very good. As we talked about before, between the A's, Angels, and Astros, there's a lot of competition right there. And then, having games against the Dodgers thrown into that mix, it's gonna hurt. It's their competition. It's what they have to play against is just too hard. I don't think they have. Yeah. I think they have maybe a future, but not this year.
All right, let's move on to the National League. So National League East, who do you got?
I have the Braves. You look at this roster, it's really hard to find a weak spot on this roster. I know some people are probably like, oh, the Nationals are in that division. Oh, they just won the World Series. And it's after what they did last year, I don't fully trust them because they got to such a slow start last year. Such a slow start that they were almost like at the Orioles level of starts. They were terrible.
Bad.
And then they got hot in the second part of the season, and they made that big run and won the World Series, which, hey, props to them. That's awesome. But that was a 162-game season. This is a 60-game season. Having this long of a break from the World Series, I think, is also going to hurt them. This Braves team, they're young, they're fast, they can smash the ball. Acuna is a freak of nature. Like, he's basically a cheat code. I can't go against the Braves.
I also have the Braves for the NL East. You know, what you were saying with the Nationals, you just don't know how they're going to do with a short season. And they lost Rendon. A huge part of that run. He was a huge part of that offense. So a big loss. So yeah, Braves. NL Central, I have the Reds. They made some excellent pickups. Their rotation right now is scary. If Sonny Gray can put up another season like he had, you got Trevor Bauer in there now that can launch
who is so strong
field.
He can throw the ball over center field from the pitcher's mound. Cannon of an arm.
And they picked up
Moose.
Castellanos. That helps them so much now because Castellanos is one of the weakest defensive players in the league. Guess what? Now they can DH him. So that's going to help them a lot. Aquino, I think, will be a monster again this year. The Reds, they're a team to look out for this year for sure.
I have the Reds as well. All those names you said, plus they added Moustakas also. It's a very hitter-friendly park. They got a lot of power in that lineup. They can get the ball out. That on top of a strong pitching staff, they're going to be able to put games away. I think they're going to be fun to watch too. They got a good mix of vets and some younger guys in there too, which I think is really going to help them right now, obviously. But I think it's also going to set them up well for the future because they have really good guys for some of these young guys to look up to as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
West, Dodgers. Dodgers. The team is not fair.
I don't think we have to talk about it. Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers,
it's the Dodgers. Yeah.
If you don't pick the Dodgers, then go watch last year. It's the Dodgers.
Goodness.
Did we match? Oh man, we matched.
We've matched on like 3 out of the 4 cards.
I think the only one to get that wrong was
we had it in the AL.
Yeah, the AL West was the only one we've differed on. So
not AL Central.
Oh yeah, because you. Yeah.
I guess we might as well just go into our reasonings with these right away.
Yeah,
the East, Marlins. I think we talked about it. Their division that they're in is super strong. The division they're going to play against.
They're definitely the weakest team in that division. They're not as abysmal as like the Orioles or as the Tigers. But
so much Orioles hate.
Still not.
Can
not
you tell he's a Yankees
great
fan?
team. NL Central, the Pirates.
Pirates. They're also a team that is really good at trading away their good players.
Yeah.
That was an agreement, is what that was.
It was. You know why the Rays are good? Austin Meadows, who's been putting up super good numbers in his first couple seasons. And then you have Tyler Glasnow, who's been throwing well. Both of those players went to the Rays from the Pirates in exchange for Chris Archer, who posted a over 5 ERA last year. So
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he can bounce back.
yeah, so
Yikes.
yeah, Pirates have a tendency to trade away their
They like to not
good
win.
players.
They like to draft high. That's what they like to do.
Yeah.
Some teams, maybe they're like, hey, we got nothing else to show. Let's say, hey, our scouts are good. Watch what we can draft so you can trade for them.
All right, and on to the West. We both have the Rockies. Right,
I feel like we're hashing the same thing over and over. We're beating the horse over and over. That's just good baseball that's in that division and in the AL side of that division too. It's just they're the weakest team and they got no pitching.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you got two guys that can score
If
and
you
you have
play-
no pitchers, you're not going to win a lot of baseball
If
games.
you play in that park with not good pitchers, you're gonna have so many balls
You
fly out of that
will
park.
get killed.
Best record by region. East, I have the Yankees at 39-21. Central, I have the Twins at 36-24. And West, I have the Dodgers at 40-20. Dodgers with the best record in all of baseball.
I got the Braves at 37-23. I got the White Sox at 35-25, and the Dodgers. I don't have an exact record, but they will not lose 20 games.
Worst record by region. All right.
Orioles, Tigers, Mariners.
Orioles.
Oh, you
Tigers.
changed.
I got Rockies.
You curveballed me.
I did. I curveballed you. The Rockies have to play the Dodgers 10 times.
Yeah, that's fair.
Orioles. I have 17-43 for the Orioles. Sorry. Tigers. I have at 21-39, and then Rockies. I have at 20-40. So here's the fun part. We're gonna move on to the playoffs.
The playoffs.
Starting with our wild card team. My American League wild cards. I have the Astros going against the Rays, and I say the Astros are winning that game 4-1.
I have the Twins at the Rays, and I have the Rays winning that game.
Nationals versus Mets is who I have for National League wild card, and I think the Mets are winning that game 6-5. Nationals are going to be done in the wild card round.
I actually have the Padres at the Nationals, with the Nationals winning. I think the Nationals have enough that they can squeak one out there at the end. Maybe kind of get hot at the end. It was hard to pick against the Mets, just because they got some good talent there, but that's what I got.
Divisional series now. I have in the first ALDS, seed 1 Yankees versus the seed 4 Astros. I hate to see that rematch again. I have the Yankees winning that series in 5. As my other ALDS, I have the seed 2 Twins versus the seed 3 A's, and I have the Twins winning that one in 4. Twins are going to finally get their ALDS victory.
I have, on the AL side, the number 1 Yankees against the Rays. I have don't hit me, I have the Rays beating the Yankees. I am high on this Rays teams right now, I think. And then on the other side, I have the Angels against the White Sox, and I got another curveball I'm going to throw at you. I have the White Sox beating the Angels. My AL is crazy.
Yeah.
If I'm right, I'm a genius. If I'm wrong, I don't know when
You're normal.
So, I mean, I don't know. There's something about both of those teams. It's the young guys coming up. I think the short season is just going to really... I don't know.
Yeah.
They're going to do some butterflies. Oh, we got to edit that out.
No, that's staying. That's staying. National League Divisional Series. I have seed 1 Dodgers versus seed 4 Mets. I have the Dodgers winning that in 4. And then I have the seed 2 Reds versus the seed 3 Braves. And I think the wheels fall off the Reds a little bit, and the Braves take it in 5.
My picks are actually exactly the same. Dodgers definitely in 4 games. Braves, Reds. The Reds can maybe sneak a win or 2 out. I'm going to say the Braves in 5.
Championship Series is for the ALCS. We have the seed 1 Yankees and the seed 2 Twins. And I have the Yankees taking it in 5. Twins just can't seem to put up much resistance to the Yankees in the playoffs.
I've got the Rays against the White Sox. I got the Rays taking it in 4.
Sweeping.
Sweeping. I think the White Sox are going to burn out.
NLDS, I have Dodgers and Braves, and I have Dodgers in 6 for that one.
Dodgers, Braves as well, but I got the Braves in 6 as well. I think that's going to be one of the best series of the entire season that we're going to see.
All right, so World Series. I took the bandwagon and have both seed ones facing off. AL seed 1 Yankees versus NL seed 1 Dodgers. I have the Dodgers winning it, but it's going to go a full 7. So the World Series champion Dodgers, and I have the MVP of the World Series being Mookie Betts. He's just a Yankee killer. So if those two face off in the World Series, he's going to put up some big numbers because historically he's got the Yankees number for some reason.
My World Series was different. I have the Rays and the Braves. I have the Rays taking it all, also in 7. For MVP, I think it's going to be a tough pick, but I think it's going to be a battle between 3 guys, and all of them are pitchers. You got Charlie Morton, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow. It's crazy enough with this Braves team. I think it could be a low-scoring World Series just because of that pitching staff. I'm going to go Glasnow if I'm going to pick one of them. I think he's going to have a big season this year.
All right, now moving on to the season awards. We're going to do the MVP for each league, Rookie of the Year, and Cy Young. So AL MVP, I have Mike Trout if he plays. If Trout doesn't play, I have DJ LeMahieu. And it's not because of my bias.
No, the guy's just a beast.
I'm a Yankees fan. Guy can play baseball.
Yeah, he's a beast. On my AL side for MVP, I got Tim Anderson. I think he's going to be a big reason that the White Sox will have success. I think he is going to lead that team, and he's going to lead the league in a lot of ways. The guy can hit, the guy can run, he's got power, he's got speed. He's a fun guy to watch. So I got Tim Anderson.
All right, NL MVP. National League, I have Juan Soto as the MVP. He's so young. I think he's just going to keep getting better, and he's already been incredible. So I have him picked as my MVP for National League.
National League, I have Ronald Acuna. Right now, there are 2 guys in the league that are basically cheat codes of baseball. Mike Trout, obviously, is the number 1 guy, but Acuna is, I feel like he has the potential to even take out a lot of the stats that Trout has made and everything and stuff. I mean, the guy's just a beast.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I had him and I scribbled him out. So that's what that scribble was.
Going to the Rookie of the Year. Let's go AL first. I'm with the White Sox. I got Luis Robert. The guy last year, if you pay attention to the minor leagues at all, was smashing the ball. I think he's going to come up this year. I think he's going to come into a shorter season. He's going to be fired up. He's going to be ready to go. I mean, we're going from, let's use the cliche, we're going from a marathon to a sprint. I don't know what that accent was. But it's probably a cliche you're going to hear a lot this year. We're going from a marathon to a sprint. So these young guys, I think that's going to make a big difference for them. They're going to come up. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. I think he's going to smash some balls.
I also, American League Rookie of the Year, have Luis Robert. He's just an animal.
Dude's good.
He's going to be, if he continues what he's done in the minors, my goodness, you're going to have another incredible player up here, which is awesome. National League Rookie of the Year, I have Gavin Lux from the Dodgers. Once again, just another guy that can hit the ball. He can play. That's really all I got to say about it.
Gavin Lux is actually a guy I thought about. There's another Dodger I went with, though. He's a pitcher, Dustin May. I think he can come out. I think he can put up some big numbers for the Dodgers this year as well. He's got some good guys that he's going to be able to work and be mentored by in that lineup that he's going to be pitching right next to. So I think that's going to be a huge help for him too. Dodgers have a couple of rookies this year that are going to make some noise, I have a feeling, though, with these 2. So
yeah, moving on to our Cy Youngs. So for the American League Cy Young, not because of the bias, just because of how consistent he's been. He just seems to be getting better. I have Garrett Cole as my AL Cy Young. I had Verlander as my first pick, and then I thought he is getting up there. The stats are going to start to regress at some point in time. He's like the Tom Brady of baseball. Just older he gets, seems to be getting better and better. Although Brady now took a step back, obviously. Hot take: Brady's having a heck of a bounce back here for the Bucks. That's in the future, though. Anyway, AL Cy Young, Garrett Cole.
On my AL Cy Young, I had Garrett Cole. I crossed him out. I went with Tyler Glasnow. The Rays, I think, have a couple guys who can compete for this. They have Blake Snell, who's already won it before, and he's still just as good. But I think Glasnow, I think he's gonna have a big year this year. I think he's gonna take it.
National League, I have Walker Bueller of the Dodgers. Once again, another young guy. Came up in 2018, pitched pretty well. Last year had his first really full season. Incredible year. So I have Walker Bueller. He's one that I think as he gets older, he can get better too. And once again with that mentoring from that pitching staff, he'll just get better and better.
I'm going with Kershaw. I think the shortened season is going to help him as well. He seems to usually have some kind of mid-season tweak, something or other, that always kind of throws him off for a little bit. And the later in the season it gets, seems to get in his head. I mean, he seems playoff curse or whatever. Might have finally broke that last year. We'll see if that actually is a thing. But I'm going Kershaw.
We're going to play a little game called Ridiculous 5, which is just our top 5 of some ridiculous topic. And today the topic is our top 5 underused words. So these are words that you just don't hear enough these days.
Don't judge spelling.
Yeah, spelling's going to be bad. All right, so here's our number 1 on our top 5 list.
Flip.
What do you got?
I have malarkey as my number 1 unused word. You just don't hear a lot of people say it, but this is such a great word to describe.
It's a bunch of malarkey that you don't hear it.
People scheming. Yeah, it's like, it is. It's a bunch of malarkey. So, number 1, what's yours?
Mine is plethora.
Ooh,
It's a great way to describe that you have much of something. It's a word as made famous by Three Amigos. If you didn't know that, fun fact. When he is talking about plethora of pinatas. I think it's a very underused word. People are always like, I have a bunch, I have a ton. It's like, no. Sounds smarter, you say, I have a plethora.
There we go. All right. Number 2.
One flip.
What do you got?
I have flabbergasting.
Okay.
It's flabbergasting that this word is not used enough. What?
You're actually right.
Sorry, your word was very distracting. It's just a great way to describe, like, why isn't this happening more? Or anything like that. It's, again, it's a word that just makes you sound intelligent because it's got so many syllables.
Yeah.
Syllables make you smarter.
Mine only has 2 syllables. I went with legumes because have you ever just been sitting eating a wonderful dish based on legumes and you're like, gosh, this is good.
Daily.
I mean, what sounds better? Well, there's some good beans, or these legumes are flabbergasting.
And then you put that into the beans. Legumes, the musical fruit.
Yeah. Legumes.
It doesn't have the same.
This. Make legumes a word again.
Make it a word again. That's t-shirt right there.
There we go. That's.
Hey, if you want that t-shirt, comment below. We probably won't make it. Oh, by the way, just a little plug here. If you're entertained by us, even if you're not, you don't have to tell us. But somebody else might be entertained by us, so if you guys could give us a like and a share, we'd very much appreciate it.
Subscribe to our channel.
We're kind of just getting started here, obviously, since it's our first video. That's a dumb thing for me to say. We're getting started. So give us a like and a follow. Tell your friends, your family, your 93rd cousins. I don't know if that's a thing.
All right, should we move on to word number 3?
Yeah, I undermined mine so it looks cool like yours.
All right, word number 3. I have collywobbles. This is a new one that I learned. Well, I have 4 on my list. I had 4 words. Then this one I came across.
It
and
bumped up to 3.
I liked it so much that it bumped up to 3, yeah. This means upset stomach, basically. But what's much cooler to say, oh, I don't feel good, or I got some collywobbles.
Kind of sounds like you have some, like literally butterflies or something flying around in your stomach.
The word is derived from cholera.
That's not great.
So it's a little darker. But collywobbles.
I don't think I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna be honest. My word is cattywampus.
That was in my top probably 7.
Really?
I almost put it on.
It's a good word. I mean, you can look at something and say like, "Oh, that's crooked," but again, that's cattywampus. You just sound more intelligent when you use these words.
Syllables equal brains.
Except for legumes. That one you still sound smart, even though it's only 2 syllables.
Yeah.
There are a few exceptions.
This next one for me is an exception as well. I'm gonna hide it from you.
I'm gonna hide mine as well because I think you're gonna like this one.
You get to reveal first this time.
All right, you're gonna like this one. Malarkey also made my list. Yeah, again, just very underused word. It's just a great way to describe that. This is just malarkey. I mean, it's like this segment is malarkey.
There is some conniving scheming happening here. There's
Conniving?
some malarkey.
Conniving. That's another
That's
good one.
Yeah,
That's another good
Mine, I went a little more literal. Mine is whom. Because no one knows when the heck to use it.
That's true.
Myself included. I hate this word. But it's underused because no one uses it correctly.
What's funny is while I was putting my list together today, my wife actually said, "Whom should be on your list?" And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because nobody knows when to use it." So she agrees with
That's
you.
funny.
All right. And coming in at number 5.
We have gargantuan.
Yes.
Probably the second best way to describe something that's really big. First one being ginormous, but I don't know if that's a real word, so I didn't put it.
To pronounce it correctly, it's ginormous.
Ginormous. Okay.
I
don't know if that was a real word.
No, that's
so
right.
I didn't put that one down. But gargantuan,
It's
it's
a
a
good
close.
word.
It's a close second.
It's a good
So,
word.
Yeah.
This is a word that's it's an oldie but goodie. It's definitely not a lot of syllables, and it really doesn't make you sound intelligent at all. It doesn't. It kind of makes you sound like an old person, but jiffy.
Yeah,
It's just
I get it.
It's a fun word. It's you can be like, "Hey, I'll be there soon," or like, "We'll do this in a little bit," or you say, "Hey, we'll do it in a jiffy."
Or you can abbreviate it
In a GIF.
In a GIF.
Look at that. You take that off, you go from 2 syllables to 1. I mean, it kind of defeats our whole...
All right, so that is our ridiculous 5 for today. Once again, if you like what you saw, or if you didn't like what you see, but want to help us out anyway, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments on what you'd like to see us do in the future, what you'd like to see us talk about. If there's anything we missed, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop those down in the comments section, and we will see you next time.